Oh man, so Bitcoin and the wider markets are down today. Bitcoin was as low as 46,500. Fantom was as low as $1.36 today, as the market has a little bit of a reset. Loads going on. We've had a $650 million hack. Luna continues to be the biggest buyer of Bitcoin right now, holding up the market right now. We're going to cover all that off and much more. I'm going to show you the key levels which we need to watch out for on both Bitcoin and Fantom. I'm literally just pulled over here on the roadside. I've got another 5 hours of driving to do here in the rain, but as Crypto says, that doesn't stop me from bringing you the updates. I was doing some flips on the side of the road, jet skiing, obviously doing loads of lots of flips, but got to show you something in the charts, right? Because I've seen something in the charts. But no, seriously guys, I'm going to show you all the key levels. Make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, these videos are brought to you by me. Thank you to everybody who's joined the course member live streams. Really appreciate all of you guys, and really hope you take a lot of value away from having access to me and to ask me any TA questions, any questions on any tokens you want to look at, tokenomics. We can look at your portfolio and critique it. Really useful. If you want to head into there and take advantage of the offer we've got going on, pin comment below will take you to the members only section where you can ask me questions on how to get set up. Right, let's take a look at the charts. Move me out the way, because here on Bitcoin on the daily chart, you can see the market is red. We got a red candle, but that doesn't tell you all the story, because the story was we opened at about 47,500 where we were consolidating for a day or two. We then fell as low as 46.5 before now currently getting back to where we're at, which is 47,300 roughly. So we're having a really good battle here between the bears and the bulls. I'm going to come on to what's causing this very shortly. Now, remember, like I said, from a purely technical perspective, not taking in any fundamentals, it's perfectly fine if we want to come and get a retest at 45. In fact, you can even come as low as 44.5, which is this white horizontal line, which was our resistance from the wedge pattern, if you guys remember. There's nothing wrong with that from a technical perspective, so don't be shy if we get a calling off, particularly not a calling off in a diagonal pattern like this, because that is just a continuation pattern. Okay, that all that is from a technical perspective is a continuation, just like we had this move here, consolidate, move, consolidate, move. Nothing wrong with a bit of consolidation before then heading to the upside. It's nothing but a bull flag, and we could be confident around that. Okay, so that's what we're seeing here on Bitcoin. We're also going to cover off what we're seeing on Fantom, but first we've got a whole bunch of stuff to cover off. And the first thing I want to mention is look at the markets. If we head over to the US markets, you can see the Dow is down. It's always going to be a precursor and a clue as to how the market is going to open up. And you would have seen from the pre-market that the pre-market was red before the markets opened. That should have given you a clue of how Bitcoin was going to react once the US markets have opened. That's a little tip for you guys. So you can see the markets have opened up. We're about 0.13 down on the Dow, 0.41 down on the S&P 500, 0.5% on the Nasdaq, and the Russell down 0.7% almost. And you can see volatility is ticking up 2.38%, which makes a lot of sense. Now, why is this happening? Well, yesterday we had a really strong day. What was the strong day based on? It was based on the fact that Russia came out and said they're going to reduce their number of attacks, and they gave clues around the fact that maybe they're getting closer to a ceasefire. But the markets are not having that today, okay? There's slight worries now of potentially that not being the case, and there's some skepticism from some countries over this potential ceasefire and de-escalation, okay? That is what we're seeing today, and that is why we're slightly cooler now after 4 straight days of gains. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, sitting at 55. Still greedy in the market, guys. I was saying this with my member live stream course members, that we need to be careful, right? This is what we need to do. We need to pause, and when everybody's buying, when tourists are coming into the market, we need to be a little bit fearful, right? When this says greed, think of the opposite. We need to be fearful. When this says fear, which it was, be a bit greedy. That's when we were doing our buying, right? And by the way, for those who aren't used to the market, this is nowhere near extreme fear. If you're new to the market, when extreme fear comes in, you will feel it. It's a very unique feeling. Everyone's talking about crypto. It's all we can talk about. It's all you can see. It's all you can hear. Everybody's buying, and you can't do any wrong. You go into any coin and it's moving quick and fast, right? We're not there right now. And at that point, trust me, then we're definitely thinking about taking profits. And you guys have been asking me to make videos on taking profits. I hear you guys. It's on my to-do list. When I'm not super busy, I will get that video out to you guys. So right now, message and moral of the story, stay calm. Don't chase green candles. There's a couple of coins which are starting to move. I know Solana's moving. Zilliqa was moving. Be patient. Do not chase pumps. Very, very important. A few other things to cover off before we go into the Fantom chart. We know that running was hacked for 625 million. Okay, now obviously the headline is saying Axie Infinity and all this stuff. It's just headlining. If I can actually head over to my Twitter page, go and read this thread. Okay, I think it's a 14-part thread explaining exactly step by step what happened, what it means, how the 650 million was compromised. You can go and read that. I'm making more and more threads on Twitter, so make sure you're following me and you're following along with these threads. When I don't have a chance to make a video on some content, sometimes the market just moves that quickly. I'll go and make a thread in retrospect. And speaking of threads, the other thread which we posted earlier in the day was this one. Important news. Tomorrow, the EU are going to vote on a revised regulation targeting crypto transfers. Guys, do yourself a favor, get over there and read this. This matters, even if you're not in the EU. This matters. Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, understand that this matters. And if the EU get their way on this, it could be a big problem for us. Okay, so we need to understand what this means, and we need to make sure that we're pushing against these kinds of things in crypto. Very important. Go check those threads out. Now, the other thing we've got, so the thing I want to mention with this hack before we move over to the Fantom chart is, so what, right? And we mentioned that in the thread as well. Poly Network was also hacked for over $600 million, okay? And we covered that. We made videos on it at the time. And the reality is, this is the beauty of crypto. If 600 million was stolen from a jewelry shop or a museum, or the Mona Lisa was taken, or any other bank or cash or vault or anything else, that money is all but gone. But where is it with crypto? It's sat exactly in that wallet. Everybody knows it's in the wallet. The whole world is now looking at that wallet, right? Where's it going to go? And with the Poly Network hack, you saw that all that money ended up coming back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And the real fear of the market is not a hack. It's not an exploit. But it's actually someone exploiting and receiving the funds from the out end and spending it. When a criminal manages to do that, that's going to shake the crypto markets. Not this. This kind of stuff has happened. And yes, it's not great that there was a backdoor and they're able to get through. I mean, if you again follow the thread, there was only 9 validators. They managed to compromise 5 of the validators, and it wasn't a very decentralized sidechain. Remember, this is not a solid layer 1 solution or a big blockchain that has a load of retention. The makers of Axie Infinity just made this sidechain just to help transactions for Axie Infinity to make it cheaper than using the gas fees on Ethereum, right? This weren't a team who set out to create a blockchain and resolve those issues. So, guys, we can talk ages about that, but it's a bit of a nothing burger for now. The other thing to cover off is Luna. Luna are still buying. Now, it's not official, but we're tracking the wallets, and you can see that they continue to make very interesting levels of purchases. And this article from CoinDesk is a pretty good one. And in essence, what they're saying is, if you follow this through, is that if the Luna Foundation Guard spends all of the money, they could actually reach 65,000 Bitcoin by the end of April. So this is saying, look, Luna are going to keep buying, and if they're going to keep buying up to their target of 10 billion, they could be buying for months. And we think a lot of it, some of it has already started, and that could help the market. But very clever what what the Luna Foundation and Do Kwon are doing. Makes complete sense to start thinking of Bitcoin as a reserve currency, and maybe other platforms and projects will start to think the same. If Bitcoin can be seen as this reserve currency, this safe place to be, that could really start to change the narrative in the crypto space. Right. Now that we've done that, let's get back into the Fantom charts, because unfortunately something worrying is going on. And again, I was making the videos explaining this to you guys. You guys know as many videos as I'll make about Fantom because I like the project. The reality is, if I see something negative, I'm going to share it with you. And you guys can give me hate in the comments and say, oh, whatever, he's just putting FUD out there. But if I see it in the charts, I'm going to bring it to you. That's my duty. I don't care what you comment below. I don't care if you say I'm spreading FUD. I probably hold more Fantom than you anyway, and I'm not selling. I'm long-term holding this project, whether I'm right or wrong. I have to tell you what I see in the charts in case you're trading on a short-term basis or in case you care. That's what we're doing on this channel. And what I said here was we created a bear flag. Okay, a bear flag, for those who aren't familiar, is a big move to the downside created by consolidation move, which you then break to the downside and continue on the way down. It's a continuation pattern. Now fast forward to what we're seeing here, this rally to the upside. I'm cautious that this was a bear flag. And what has my message been this whole time? The whole time, when we start a continuation movement, look how powerful the first two peaks are. This one and this one, they're strong peaks, but we weren't able to go higher than that. I want it to look like that, right? But we just started hugging the bottom of the channel, and this is what started to get me worried. I mentioned it to you guys a few times, that we're starting to hug the bottom here and we're not able to really start getting above quickly. Now, we've got rejected from 147, and that is what's causing this little bit of a consolidation to the downside. And it doesn't help that Bitcoin is having a bit of weakness today caused by the wider markets, which we've just covered off, because this is making us look like we can start curling over from the bottom of our little channel here. Okay, so this is something we want to watch out for. Again, I'm not going to panic about the continuation pattern, and I'm not going to be too worried about it, at least until and if we lose 134 and start heading towards 126. At that point, I start thinking then of this movement to this side, right? And it's obviously going to depend on what the wider market is doing. If Bitcoin has a good day tomorrow and starts working its way back in here, then we're back in the game here on Fantom. So the technicals are all well and good, but we have to follow what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin from a technical perspective is looking much better than Fantom is, right? If I go onto the daily here on Fantom, and just remind you guys, if I bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see we're still below our EMA ribbon. We're still getting rejected here, okay? Very important. If we head over to Bitcoin, you'll see the complete difference, because on Bitcoin, you can see we've got the extension well above our EMA ribbon. We've got plenty of move to come down and correct. If we want evidence for that, let's take a zoom in. And you can see here on Bitcoin, if I said that we can even come down to test at 44.5, right? There's nothing wrong with coming down to test at 44.5. But if you look at the EMA ribbon, you can technically even come down all the way here at the 43.5 level, and even lower here 42.9, and even down here you can start arguing it can really come into the ribbon, even into 42.5, that kind of territory, without losing the EMA ribbon. So this is a really big move to the upside, and it's given us plenty of room to have a day or two of cooling off before our next move to the upside. Remember, our daily technical target here on Bitcoin continues to remain at 52,700, and this is a good move to the upside. 7 straight days of green. There's no problem with having a day or two with red before moving to the upside. And you can go back in the charts and study the levels where Bitcoin's had 6 or 7 days like that in a row. It always takes a day or two to cool off and then starts moving again. So all things looking good on the Bitcoin chart. Fantom will get carried by Bitcoin. I have to make you guys aware of the bear flag, which we continue to see. We can't avoid it. We can't be blind to it. But if you're not trading on the short term, you're holding for the long term basis, it really doesn't matter. If it does pull back, it just presents you another opportunity to buy on pullbacks if you've got high conviction. So there you have it, guys. There's a quick update on the roadside, an update on what's going on in the market today. Bitcoin and Fantom all slightly down as the market is slightly depressed today. If you appreciate my perspective, smash up the like, subscribe. If you want more perspectives and you want to get access to our course member lives, pin comment below will take you to our Discord. You'll be able to find out how to become a member there. $30 a month. You'll get 3 weekly live streams at least. I'll probably end up doing them more when I'm on my desk. And you guys can ask me any questions you want. Complete access. Portfolio. You can ask me to critique your portfolio. We can look at tokenomics, look at your favorite coin, do some TA, ask me what indicators I use, chart patterns, and all the rest of it. Check out the Discord, because there is still an offer going on. Make sure you don't miss that. If you're subscribed to my members course for 6 months at least, you're going to get free access to the TA course, which is going to retail for $500 when it comes out. Jam-packed, all pre-recorded lectures, sequenced in order. A beginner could just follow it and pick up and learn all the TA that I've learned over the years. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.